What's up, everybody? Brett Mix here for week number 59 of the Monday Night Wars on the WCW side. This is December the 2nd, 1996, week 59, the 64th episode of Nitro, but the 59th week they've gone head-to-head with Raw. Nitro beats Raw for the 23rd week in a row. The scores were 3.4 to 2.3 for Nitro. Nitro got a 3.4, Raw got a 2.3. So now, through 59 weeks, the score is 40 wins for Nitro, 17 wins for Raw, 2 draws. This is the Nitro with a 3.4 rating from Dayton, Ohio, live on TNT from the Hara Arena. For the first hour, it's Zbyszko and Schiavone. In the second hour, it's going to be Bischoff and his counterparts, Hall and Nash, as they take over Nitro in the second hour, but we'll get to that. First match is Glacier versus Hardbody Harrison. They don't call Hardbody Harrison by name because it's all about Glacier. The lights usually shut off when Glacier is about to wrestle, but in this case, they stay on for the first time on Nitro. Glacier wrestles with the light on and a reverse Irish whipped into the ropes. Glacier gets some high thrust kicks and rolls up to his feet with a nice martial arts kick, then a leg sweep, another nice martial arts move, and then a high spin kick gets them the win. Glacier wins at 102 after the spinning heel kick to the face of Hardbody Harrison at 102. I rated it a quarter of a star. The Amazing French Canadians, this is a very wrestling-centric show. So there's a ton of matches, 11 to be exact. Not a lot of them got enough time, but they had 11 matches. This is the second of the 11. The Amazing French, these are only 2-hour shows. This isn't a 3-hour show yet. The Amazing French Canadians, Jacques Rougeau and Carl Ouellette, with Colonel Robert Parker, versus Joe Gomez and the Renegade. The Renegade and Joe Gomez go at it with the Canadians right away as they all brawl to start the match. Rougeau with a Boston Crab. The Renegade was wild. Gomez makes a hot take to the Renegade, who clears the ring. Ouellette and Rougeau were power slammed, both of them. Rougeau in the corner, the Renegade threw in Ouellette, who drops him with the clothesline. Ouellette pile drives the Renegade, and then Rougeau wants out Ouellette to drop on the Renegade as they double team for the win. They win at 3:16 to the French Canadians. I rent the Amazing French Canadians, they're called. I rated it 3/4 of a star. Arn Anderson talks about Hogan and how the Horsemen owe him a seat, using wrestling terminology in promos. Horsemen accept the Hogan, the nWo to come get them next week in Charlotte, and there's a day their paths will cross in Flair country or Horseman country in Charlotte, North Carolina next week. That's what Arn Anderson challenged. The Faces of Fear, Mang and the Barbarian, who are going to go to Starrcade to take on the Outsiders, take on their team that's thrown together of Robert Gibson from the Rock and Roll Express and Scotty Riggs from the former American Males. They say former because Bagwell joined the nWo and turned on his tag team partner last week. So a thrown together tag team of Riggs and Gibson against a well-established team that are going to Starrcade to face the Outsiders. Who's going to win? A lot of double teamwork by Mang and the Barbarian. They made them look like gold here. A lot of hard shot to the kidneys, a lot of double teaming moves, power moves, cross bodies. They worked like a cohesive unit that they are. The team of Gibson got a hot tag and would dominate the Faces of Fear just for a few moments, but all of a sudden Riggs get power bombed hard by the Barbarian. A backbreaker to Scotty Riggs and a near fall. Mang tagged back in and stomps on Riggs, choking him out on the bottom rope. Gibson with an enziguri to the Barbarian, who comes back in with a big boot, and that gets them to 3 at 7:41 as the Faces of Fear continue to book strong. So 2 stars for that match. It was a pretty good tag team match. Riggs comes back with chair shots to the head of Mang and the Barbarian. The Faces of Fear are getting momentum before Starrcade. Kevin Sullivan and Chris Benoit had a dark match. They showed highlights of a dark match they had. And it was ruthless, just like the matches they had at the Great American Bash when they went into the bathroom stall. Sullivan threw Benoit down a number of steps, which I'm sure helped his brain a great deal with extra shots. Kevin Sullivan took on KC Sunshine. So now after they show clips of that, they have Sullivan coming to the ring and meaning business. They don't know what KC Sunshine's name is. They just have Sullivan beat the crap out of him for a couple minutes. Sullivan wins a squash match. And then says after the match, Benoit, one of us will be buried alive because now the equation equals 3. That's a sinister prophetic statement by Mr. Sullivan, saying that Benoit is going to be buried alive and now the equation equals 3. When you consider what happened to Chris Benoit, you know, Anyways, half a star for the squash match by Sullivan. And you know what? It's terrible to make any light that Kevin Sullivan had anything to do with something so horrible, but I would believe it more than what actually happened. I mean, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. But could I believe that he had something to do with it? Absolutely. I could believe that over what actually did happen any day. And I want to believe that's what happened, but life isn't like that. Anyways, Sullivan's name should be cleared because the officers have checked him out. So that's according to David Benoit, the son that wanted him to check out Sullivan. There's just a lot of, in their rivalry, there's a lot of things there's words that could be taken a different way when you watch it back. Malenko took on a very, very young Kidman. A lot of nice moves here. Ultimo Dragon and Sonny Ono come out to scout them for a very good Malenko Ultimo Dragon match at Starrcade. Malenko wins this match at 5:50 and retains the title. I gave it 2 stars and 3/4 for under 6-minute match. It was very good. Jeff Jarrett 7-0 on Nitro, taking on Big Bubba Rogers. Jarrett on the top, but Big Bubba Rogers kicked him off the top rope. Double J had him rolled up, but a megaphone is knocked over, and Jarrett improves to 7-0 on Nitro with the win over Bubba at 4:09. So Jarrett became 7-0. It wasn't 7-0 coming in. He was 6-0 coming in, but he went to 7-0 rather. I rated this match a 1.25 stars. The Steiners come back with a mic, and Rick Steiner says, "Sting, I know you can hear me. Why don't you show your face, Sting?" And then Sting's up in the rafters, and Steiner challenges him to a match tonight, and Sting nods. So apparently we're going to get a match. nWo come out to a huge pop as they come out to their theme. Bischoff does his bowing, smile, I love you kind of crap. Bischoff and the Outsiders take over commentary. Bischoff gets on the mic and goes, "I'm back." So Bischoff, Hall, and Nash are now the commentators for the rest of the show. They pretty much Heenan, Tenay, and Schiavone hit the bricks, as Hall would say. Eddie Guerrero took on Square David Taylor. Hurricane Rana twice. Guerrero with a frog splash and a victory win at 2:16. But it was a lot of distractions throughout because the NWO just took over the broadcast. A star and 3/4. Arn Anderson took on Jim Powers. Anderson going to work on the shoulder of Jim Powers. Kevin Nash called him a great technician, and he pretty much confirmed what was going to happen in the match about Arn working on the shoulder of Powers. He gets the win after a DDT. Lord Steven Regal versus Chris Benoit, and the whole match was shot with a cam that was a wide cam that was far away. So it made the match a little bit worse than it should have been because it was a great match. I rated it 3 stars. Benoit up high got a German suplex with a bridge to win at 6:26. I rated it 3 stars, as I said. Luger took on Rocco Rock. What would a Nitro be without Luger taking on a bigger man, getting him in the torture rack to win? That's exactly what happened at 3:56, and I gave it a star. Then Rick Steiner with Scott Steiner took on Sting in the 11th match of the night in the main event. The NWO, who have done the most of a 2 hours, still broadcasting and think Sting's on their side. Sting competes on Nitro for the first time in a long time. He comes out with the baseball bat, a black bat this time, making his debut with the white face paint looking like the Crow exactly now. His hair still has to grow out a little bit more, but he's starting to look exactly like the Crow. He points at Steiner with the bat. Steiner goes to hit him, but Scott Steiner stops Rick Steiner, and then he hits a Scorpion Death Drop for the victory. He hits a Scorpion. Sorry about that. That was earlier. He hit this. There was a replay of him hitting the Scorpion Death Drop the week before. What ends up happening is he gives him the bat. He doesn't want to hit him, so he leaves the ring and he walks out. And Rick Steiner wins by countout, 3/4 of a star. I got confused with the ending there. That does it for the match portion of the show. After the match, Sting walked to the back, and the NWO just said, "We got you, Sting. We got you." I rated this show 5 out of 10 because it really lacked Hogan and Piper. They say next week we're going to get them on the show to lead to the match of the decade at Starrcade. So we'll see how that goes. Again, they win in the ratings 3.4 to 2.3. But yeah, that does it for this Nitro. Good to see Sting back, but the finish was a little bit lackluster. So just a 5 out of 10, but these Nitros continue to be entertaining. I'm Brett Mix, and we'll see you on the next one, and I'm out.